Hey students, it's Miss Arneson, and this video is for those of you enrolled in Science 142, What the Cell? Because we're going to talk about what this class is really going to be about. So what content are we going to look at in this class? I know that most people don't think about things like this, but I'm a nerd, and so I do. So I heard like you could basically get any part of a person's body. So if you're a forensic scientist and you're trying to extract DNA, it doesn't matter really what part of the body you have. So you could have hair follicles, you could have toe cells like from the bottom of your toes. You can really have like any type of cells from the inside of your mouth, and you can still tell whose DNA it is. So I was like, well, that means that everybody's cells have all the same information in them. So even though my cheek cell is very different than my toe cell, they both have all my DNA in them. So why does my cheek cell act different than my toe cells? Or, in a funnier way to think about it, your nose can smell, but the cells around your crack, around your butthole, they also have the same DNA. So how come you can't smell with your butthole? And those are the kind of things you think about when you're a weird science nerd. But that is a cool question, I think, and we're going to resolve it in this class. We're going to look at how come, even though all the cells in your body have the same DNA, they are specialized to do certain things. So thank goodness the genes in my butt crack are not programmed to do the same thing as the cells in my nose, or I would be smelling like, all my farts and, all the other stuff that goes down there. So that would be not a very good day, right? It would be distracting to smell that all the time. So there's reasons why genes get turned off. And that takes us down to our first essential question, which is why do different types of cells have specialized roles? Or why do your liver cells do different things than the cells in your eyes? And the way that works is that genes get turned on and turned off in different parts of your body depending on the type of tissue that it is. And when I say tissue, that's a group of cells that are doing the same thing. So when we're talking about that question, we also have to look at, well, what is the hierarchy of structures? And that sounds kind of like complicated, but all it means is that you have to look at things at different scales. So like one cell is smaller than a tissue, which is made of a bunch of cells. And an organ, I just dropped my headphone, an organ is made of a tissue, and then that gets put together, several organs, into an organ system. So we're going to look at that. And then how do those different parts of your body work together? And finally, we're going to look at mitosis and how different cells in your body are replaced. So really, we've talked about mitosis before in biology, but in this case, we're going to look specifically at how your cells get replaced when they die or get damaged. And so that's a little different than meiosis, because meiosis is talking about how you make sex cells, and then you can form a new individual. So that's really what we're going to be covering in this class. We're going to be looking at DNA, the instructions in DNA, and how those get turned off and on in different types of cells, and then how are those cells replaced. So our three essential questions, remember those are going to be on the quiz, so you want to take a good look at those. The other thing I really want to make sure that you guys know, I've said before, but it's on the quiz, so I'll just reiterate. You will have 80% of your grade determined by the assignments that you're doing, and 20% will be done in the final test. The test is approximately half multiple choice and half short answer or project. So you will have to do something with your knowledge besides click on multiple choice questions. And you basically can't fail this class. So if you are trying, you just keep trying until you get a 70% or higher, and then that means that you passed and you get to move on to the next term. So get started ASAP, don't get behind, follow along with the weeks of work, and you'll do super well, and I'll talk to you later, guys.